Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the Jordan Brand Zion 2. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Zion 2 features almost a herringbone traction pattern. It's like a partial herringbone traction pattern. At least in the heel, you can kind of see that diamond or that triangle pattern. And then up in the forefoot, you have like this wavy line traction pattern with the Zion logo actually incorporated into the traction. So it looks cool. How does it perform? You know, I would say it's overall pretty good. If you are playing on your cleaner courts, you will have no problems whatsoever. You will be able to stop very, very well. However, if you are playing on your average courts, like your LA Fitness and 24-hour fitness courts, you should be okay as long as you wipe, because you know, if this is one of those tractions where if you don't wipe, this thing does tend to pick up dust, and if you let that dust accumulate, you will have like some slide to stops. I never had any issues where I completely slid out, but that is just something to keep in mind if you are playing on those dustier courts. Just make sure you do maintain the wipes and you should be okay. As far as outdoor use goes, I really can't say because I didn't use these outdoors. However, I do not think that you should, because I just don't think that the outsole will last very long. Overall, the traction on Zion 2 I would say is solid. Just make sure you do wipe if you are playing on those dustier courts. So moving on to the cushion, the Zion 2 features some sort of full-length foam midsole. It's probably some sort of Phylon, but within this midsole, you do have an air strobel unit in the back half of the shoe, and then a 4-foot zoom unit, and it's a pretty big zoom unit up in that 4-foot. So the cushion in here is actually pretty nice. So in that heel area, you know, you are going to get that impact protection. This foam actually does compress a little bit as well. Couple that with the air strobel unit and you're going to be good in the heel. In the 4-foot, you are going to get a lot of bounce. That 4-foot zoom unit does feel very, very nice. And the thing about this too is, like, you know, it doesn't look like you would have that great of court feel, but I would actually say that the court feel in here is pretty decent. Definitely not the best, but by far definitely not the worst either. So yeah, you know, the cushion in this shoe was actually surprisingly nice for how I guess like the setup is. You know, I was expecting it to be not that great, but it's actually really nice. So if you all like, you know, that zoom in the 4-foot and you also like air strobel units, this has got you covered. The Zion 2 actually has some pretty decent cushion. So moving on to the materials, the Zion 2 features a bunch of different materials. Up in the toe box, you do have like a standard mesh material. You know, it's definitely nothing great or anything like that, but it doesn't feel that cheap. And then pretty much everywhere else, you're gonna have this like synthetic leather. So anywhere you see this like bluish tint, that's gonna be that synthetic leather. And then where you have like these crazy colors, these crazy patterns, I don't know what kind of material this is, but it's definitely some type of synthetic material. And honestly, this is the one thing about the materials I really didn't like. It's just kind of cheap feeling. It's very squeaky. Like, you guys hear that? Like that I don't know. There's just something about the materials that I really don't like. At least like on this like pattern part, the really colorful parts. But you know, the synthetic leather is fine. You know, it does bring like a nice old school feel to the shoe, even though this has like new school tech, which is cool. These materials definitely aren't premium by any means though. So if you're expecting like very, very like, you know, nice to the touch feeling materials, it's not there. Like, let's just be real, it's not there. But in terms of the performance, the materials do get the job done very well. As we move towards the tongue, you do have like this textile tongue. It's pretty much all textile up until the top, where you get that like squeaky material again, which I don't really like. However, you know, the padding on this tongue is also like not the best. I would say it's definitely more on the minimal side. However, you do have some flat laces here to accompany that really thin tongue. So if you do like to crank down your laces, you know, you won't feel the laces really digging into your foot. Overall, like I said, from a material standpoint, the materials definitely aren't the most premium. However, in terms of the performance, it does get the job done just fine. So moving on to the fit, I went true to size in the Zion 2, and I would say going true to size is probably everyone's best bet. I'm a slightly wide footer and I went true to size, and I'm just gonna say that I did have a little bit of pinching pain up in the toe box area, basically around where my pinky toe is. These overlays right here will definitely put a lot of pressure on your foot if you do have a wider foot. So just keep that in mind. If you do have wider feet, more than slightly wide feet, I would definitely recommend you all probably go up a half size, just to make sure that you don't have any of that unwanted pressure up in that pinky toe area, because like I said, I'm a slightly wide footer, I went true to size, and I did feel that, and it doesn't really go away all too much. It's really just something you got to bear with if you want to play in the shoe. If you all have regular feet or narrow feet, I do think going true to size is your best bet. Overall, I would say that the fit is pretty good in the shoe. You know, besides that pressure over here on the pinky toe area, you know, you do have like a slight bit of dead space up in the toe box area, but nothing too noticeable, and it doesn't cause any like discomfort in the shoe or anything like that. You also have this forefoot strap. It does do something, although it just doesn't do that much. It does kind of help contain your foot more or get like a tighter fit up in the forefoot if you need it, but don't expect like amazing support or amazing lockdown coming from this strap, because it's just, you know, it's really not set up to do that. Everywhere else, you know, you do have like pretty good heel padding. You actually do have like these Achilles pillows, which I don't think you can really see all too well, but they are there, and they're very well padded, almost to the point where it actually kind of gave my Achilles area a little bit of discomfort, because I think the padding is a little bit more firm than I would like, but that might just be me. One more thing to note is this isn't even a half booty upper. This tongue is actually completely separated except for down here at the bottom of the shoe, which is why they kind of incorporate like the Zion like lace loop up here, just to make sure that tongue isn't like shifting around everywhere. So yeah, you know, overall, I would say that the fit in the Zion 2 is pretty good, but it could definitely been better. So moving on to the support, I had absolutely zero issues with the support in the Zion 2. You do have this giant internal heel counter, and you know, this external piece does actually, you know, help support your heel as well. Along with those Achilles pillows in here and the additional padding, your heel isn't going anywhere. I didn't have any heel slippage in the shoe. I didn't have any side-to-side movement on the footbed as well. The materials do a great job of making sure your foot isn't sliding off that footbed, as well as this, you know, forefoot strap. You know, it does add a little bit of additional support, just not all too much. And then as far as your lateral movements go, if you want to do those hard lateral movements, you're going to be covered. This is a very wide base, and as you can see, this outsole does actually protrude out, and it provides you with an outrigger, so you are going to be covered there. And then in terms of the torsional rigidity and stability, it is fairly stiff. You know, I'm pretty sure there is a shank plate in here. This is Zion's shoe after all, and you know, he's a big dude, and he definitely needs a very, very supportive shoe. So yeah, you know, I didn't have any support issues in this shoe. Also, one thing to mention is this is kind of like a mid-high cut shoe, and if you like to have, you know, that feeling of ankle restriction, I would say this definitely provides that, especially if you lace this all the way up to the top. You're definitely going to feel that restriction in your ankle, which I personally don't like, but you know, definitely there are some of you that do. So the Zion 2 retails for, I believe, $120, and I honestly don't remember if that's the same price as the Zion 1, but in my personal opinion, I would say this is an overall upgrade from the Zion 1. The materials are way better in terms of the quality. You know, the materials on the Zion 1 were really, really bad. They just felt very, very cheap. So yeah, definitely an improvement there. The traction on here, like I said, is pretty good. Just make sure you do wipe on the dustier courts and you maintain those wipes. Otherwise, you know, you will slide to a stop. The cushion is nice, support is there, and the fit is pretty good as well. And also, you know, aesthetically, I think these look better. You know, like I said, this does bring like an old school feel to a new school shoe, and I really, really like it. And there are some other sick colorways out there. This one definitely isn't my favorite, but it's still pretty good. But yeah, you know, overall, I would say that the Zion 2 is a very like solid shoe. If you all wanted to pick up a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. If you have played in these, please let me know what you all think about these shoes. Yeah, like I said, it's an improvement on the Zion 1. If you want to pick up a pair, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Overall, the Zion 2 is a solid hoop shoe. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. And also, please hit that thumbs up button for me, as it really does help me out. Also, hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this. While you all are at it, check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time,